Okay. All right, I'm gonna start admitting people. You ready? All right, everyone. It's 4 p.m. So we can just get started. I'm Kiara. I'm Protect PT's project coordinator, and today we have the lovely Jackie Nixon, and she's here to present the Premier Youth Ambassadors Program with CR3. And I'll let her get to it.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate the fact that you want to find out more about the Premier Youth Ambassadors for Radon Reduction. My name is Jackie Nixon, and I am the Marketing and Communications Director for Citizens for Radioactive Radon Reduction. Slide 2, please. And I'm going to let you talk a little bit, first of all, about what is Protect PT. Just a minute.
Yeah, so just some background with this our host of this webinar today. So Protect PT is Penn Trafford. It's a nonprofit organization, and we're dedicated to resident safety, security, and quality of life by engaging in education and advocacy to protect the economic, environmental, and legal rights of the people in Westmoreland and Allegheny counties. Since starting as a group of neighbors working together to protect the neighborhood from fracking in late 2014, we've grown to become a community-based organization of staff, volunteers, and members. Corey's also on this call, and so is Lois, and they're both involved in Protect PT as well. And I know Jackie used to be a board member, and that's how we know her. And so just a reminder, just as to be kind, respectful participants on this call, we ask everyone to stay muted unless you're speaking. There's a lot of material to cover today, important material. And also, if you have any questions, please ask in the chat and we'll definitely get to them. All you, Jackie.
Okay, so first of all, the Premier Youth Ambassadors, the one quote that I love to say is from Franklin D. Roosevelt: "We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future." And that's what PYA is trying to do. So next slide, please. All right. In March of 2022, CR3 was introduced to some youth who took upon themselves to do some research on radon gas and how it affected their homes, their schools, and their community properties. After talking with them about these efforts that they had done, it became apparent that CR3 should be recognizing them for their endeavors and find a way to help them continue their missions. We asked them what we could do to help them. There was David Trent, and David had started his own nonprofit, and he started it at the age of approximately 16 years old and engaged his own school, and the kids in his school became board members, and they were the ones that actually implemented rnfree.org, which handed out test kits throughout the community, right? He was very impressive. And there's a story behind him too, but we're going to keep that for a little bit later. And in the midst of that, the Utah Radon program let us know about two more young ladies, and that was Annalise Kleeman and Tanya Yu. And they had projects. One was a STEM, and one was a major community study. And shortly after that, a young man by the name of Brian Yang contacted us for further assistance. and he had interest in testing his own school for radon. And he wanted to do a research project around that. And then, of course, we had Joshua Keys. Josh was already a member of CR3. He was a CR3 state representative. So he also was inclusive. He had a love for animals. And when he found out that radon gas affected animals, he became very interested in becoming one of the PYA and having a project around that as well. So with those five, we had a discussion, and it was decided that these young people, these are the original ones in 2022, and they should be honored because they started this on their own initiative, out of their own interest, and out of their own love for the community, and their project they wanted to do with radon gas. So that's what we did. We gave them all Radon Spotlight Awards, which was that award you saw in the very first slide. Next slide, please. So, what is the Premier Youth Ambassadors for Radon Reduction? It's a program that it says aims to develop young people. I like to say is developing young people, young adults from across the country. We are national, and we have they have a strong sense of civic responsibility and commitment to their communities regarding radon gas, the testing, mitigation, and the education. Their awareness of the current and global issues regarding radon gas, lung cancer, because radon gas does cause lung cancer, coupled with their strong interpersonal skills, will be the building blocks for the future of radon advocacy. Next slide, please. The PYA program for radon reduction brings together high school students and college students, as well as adult mentors. Those that are in the industry. And so it's to promote the mutual understanding, increase the leadership skills, and prepare the youth to make a difference regarding radon testing, mitigation, and education in their communities. And how do we do that? Well, through in-person virtual exchange programs, such as the National Radon Proficiency Program, we are training these youth that are participants, and the NRPP radon training allows them to understand a little bit more of the science. Now, not everyone is interested in the science, but we offer them this training program, which only helps them to understand a little bit better how radon gas works, why it affects, and how it affects the lungs. So we also empower them by pairing them off with the industry. When I say the industry, I'm talking about companies, corporations, healthcare, whatever, that have a strong presence in the radon world, in the environmental world. And what we do is we pair them based on their projects. We pair them with certain people in the industry to help them continue with whatever they're trying to do. Now, we also encourage them further their radon advocacy. It's one thing to learn the science, and it's another thing to be able to relay that science to the person that is your next door neighbor, that is in a school, or something of that sort. So we work hard to not only give you the science, but we want to give you the community side, how to relay that to people so they don't get panicked, so that they clearly understand there is something that they can do. We also support their projects. When I say that, whatever your project is, whatever it is that you feel that you want to do as a project, we encourage it. We will say, okay, tell us what it is that you really want to work at. Then what we try to do is find mentors as well as industry leaders that can help them develop that project and take it to fruition. And of course, we promote future endeavors, collaboration. So no matter what happens, we want to make sure that you are strongly tied to those that can help you. And then also we will promote your projects. We will promote you as a PYA and help it to go further, literally help it to go further. So next slide, please. Those are the goals. All right, through awareness. And there's interpersonal skills, and there we explore the science and the personal interests that you have and the civic participation. Awareness. It is important that we train you, and we have a training program, online training program for radon awareness as well. Again, it is one thing to go and learn the science if that's what you want, but there's many that don't want to learn it to the point of the technical science portion of that. They want to go out into their communities and they might want to hand out brochures, or they might want to talk to people or develop some sort of an awareness program, say around healthcare, for example. So we train you in the awareness. Part of that awareness is also being aware that there are national radon issues here in the US, but it doesn't stop there. This is a global issue. Radon is everywhere. And in the United States alone, it kills over 21,000 people a year. And people sometimes can't get their heads around that. But also be aware that US isn't the only place. You're talking about the entire world. So how do we make everyone understand, feel, and want to do one single action, which is test their homes or their properties for radon gas? So we make you aware that it's a global issue. How is it a global issue? And that you can take that knowledge and then relay it to different communities of different cultures. Okay, interpersonal skills, building blocks. We improve your building blocks, and that might be hooking you up with another university, for example. And I see that Mia Ray is on here, and she's an impressive young lady. And she was one of the ones that has a great idea for a project. So what we did was we had a call with Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Paul Locke, and we did Muhlenberg University as well. And then we did Dr. Khadijah Mitchell, who now is at Fox Chase in Philadelphia. She got to talk to them to see what they, and told her about the project, and they offered their assistance. So we're trying to improve the building blocks, exploring the science, the causes, and the effects of radon. Project development. How can we help you, develop your project further? And then community involvement. We really want you to go out somehow into the community. And there's different ways to do that, and we will help you and be armed, and go out there and talk about radon and tell people, don't panic. There's something you can do to resolve this issue or to detect the radon. Get the community going, get that action going. Next slide, please. Okay, and we talked about all of those good things. Now, with the program, the outcomes would be, of course, leadership skills. There are some who have a passion for something, but they don't know how to relay what they're trying to talk about well, or they might need more awareness from the standpoint of, well, I want to take it to the next level, but how do I do that? And then how do I encourage others, maybe in my school, maybe at the college level even, to take some action? So we provide you with that. Intercultural understanding, that is very important. Diversity and inclusion is so important now. and to be able to go out into different communities. Maybe, for example, one of the PYA could speak Spanish and be able to relay the radon issue to the Hispanic community, as well as others. So it's very important that you understand diversity and inclusion as part of the radon program. Networking opportunities. One of the things that we do as part of our program is that we also get our PYA involved with some of our events. And Citizens for Radioactive Radon Reduction, or CR3, we go to the ARS Symposium every year. We go to the, we just came back from the State Legislators Symposium. We also are part of NRAP, National Radon Action Plan, that plans for the next 5 years how we are going to address this radon issue. We are with the Cancer Control Board for Pennsylvania and others that are involved in other states. So what we want to do is get our youth or young people in the PYA to go with us to some of these events and experience what goes on there. That can only help them. They will also get to do network. They will get to talk to people that could possibly further their project, but they will also get awareness on a broader scale. And that's very important as well. So this year, we have 7 of our PYA that will be attending the ARS Symposium, and that is the American Association of Radon Scientists and Technologists, and it is in Nashville, Tennessee, in October, I think it's October 29th through the November 1st. And they will be speaking there, and 2 will be presenting their abstracts, and they will get to meet a ton of industry leaders. This is international. So you will meet people from other countries that also have issues with radon. And that's one of the things we want to do with networking opportunities, professional development, global perspectives, community science experience, community service experiences. And then we want to make them into future radon leaders. By that, we mean, all right, you might start in high school, and the minimum age to join the PYA is 15 years old. But then you're going to graduate from high school and then hopefully go on to, college or even a tech school, because we also have radon resistant construction. So you could be in the construction part of that, and you can only take this knowledge further. So what we want to do is train you to take it to the next level. That might be that portion of education, or you might just end up getting a job in, and I shouldn't say just getting a job, because it definitely, your role is more important. It's very important in the community, because the outcome is to get the community to act, get the community to test their homes. If the levels are high, then fix it. So that's what we're trying to build as future leaders. Why? Because all of us that have been in this industry have been in it for a long time. Many have retired, and some are still going to retire. And then we have many strong scientists, mitigators, et cetera, that have passed on. So we need to address our future. We need to grow a new level of radon warriors. So that is the goal. Next slide, please. And this is just a slide that shows you the 5 and what their projects were about a little bit. Again, Josh's was about animals and radon. Tanya, she did presentations, I think it was to over, and I might be wrong on this, so Tanya can correct me, but over about 100 different, I want to say, people. I don't have the actual things in front of me for that, but she also worked within the Girl Scouts and did an analysis of the radon. David, of course, he had the RN-free project, and then Annalise, she did a STEM project. And then, of course, Brian's project was to study radon and the geology within his area, which has extremely high radon levels. So some of them, like Tanya, has now moved on, and she's in the University of Utah. David is at Case Western. And you'll see the rest of them are going to be moving on to greater things. With that, they can take the training that we have. Next slide, please. So the last part of this is we want to encourage those in the industry that are listening to this. We want you to pass it on, and we want you to ask them as well to become mentors. We need more mentors that can help the PYA youth with their projects, because it could vastly be different. And so if you're willing to sign up, you can go to our website, which is radonreimagined.org, and it'll say become a mentor. You can click on that and you can sign up for that. It's a very simple sign up. It's not very difficult. And we encourage you to help facilitate the project, to help them build capacity, and to serve as a resource to these youth, as well as act as a cultural bridge. There are many of us fighting this battle, many of us, and the knowledge that the youth have to tap into, we should be passing it on by helping them with what they want to do. And you can join the PYA again at radonreimagined.org. And if you want to be a Premier Youth Ambassador, again, you have to be 15 years or older. And then you go to that website and you can click on join, and there's a form you must fill out, you must apply. Once you've applied, we will get the application, review it, and then we will set up a Zoom call with you just to talk to you about what it is you want to do. You know, where do your interests lie? And we want to make sure it's the best fit. And so it's about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what you have to say, of course, what I have to say. So we talk with you. And then if you're accepted, you get an acceptance letter. And then the next thing we would do is then talk to you more. We get you signed up, onboarded, and then we talk with you more about your project and start to get you hooked up with these mentors. You will also go to the mentor database and sign up in there. And then the mentor database that we have, it literally matches the PYA youth and their project based on what you put in there with the mentors who have the expertise to help you. It's automatic. And it doesn't mean that the mentor is glued to the hip, you know, to the youth tip or vice versa. It just is that you will know this mentor is there to help you. And the mentor will know these students are here and need your help. So we encourage you all to sign up. It's free. And just go ahead and to that site, sign up as a mentor and help these youth. If you have any questions, you can always send an email to the email on the screen. And I am actually the, let's say the developer of the program to start. But Daryl Festa is also the program lead. He works very hard with us, along with a whole group of people that basically believe in this project, believe in the youth, and want to see them go further. You can always call us. My number is 412-961-1980. And you can call me at any time. You can email me, and I'm always on my email. Next slide, please. And I think this is next to the last one, but it's just I want to thank the companies that have promoted the Premier Youth Ambassadors, that have encouraged them, and you know, have really worked hard. One of the things that we got is we got training for our youth in the NRPP's training, and that was put on the first year by through SWAT. Festa Technologies, that's Daryl Festa, who now is the program lead. and he's the liaison. He's the one that really works hard to do whatever's needed to help you guys or these premier youth ambassadors to do what they need to do. EcoSense, they jumped in and they provided not only expertise, but they provided each one of our PYA with an EcoCube, which is a continuous monitor it's a home monitor, but it gave them an idea about how these monitors work, along with the science that they were working on, that they were being trained in. And the rest of them, Spruce, Radon Environmental, has been working with our PYA on the animal side of everything. And of course, Pennsylvania ARST and RPP, they were the ones that Nate Burden actually did the training. Alpha Energy, they have been there to help as well. I thank all of you for this. And CERTI. CERTI has the online training programs that we are using, and they've been working with us. So I appreciate all of them, and the ones that are coming on. I didn't get them all on the slide, but I do thank all of you. And of course, you'll see them all shortly. Next slide, and the last one. This is the one that if you need to contact us, especially me specifically, you'll see my contact information is right there. Give me a call or email me. I'm on my email like all day, just about 8 o'clock. I stop everything, of course. And if you have any questions, one of the things also is the magazine. And many of you got the magazine. This month's issue, September, is about radon, children, and schools. And it has been published around the premier youth ambassadors. So we have 4 new ambassadors that were not listed here. And you can read up on their accomplishments, which they are very impressive. 2 of them are from Johns Hopkins University, and I think it's 2 are in Utah, if I'm not mistaken. 1 is in Utah, I know that. But anyway, and they are there for you to read up on and see what they're doing. Oh, Mia, that's who I forgot. Mia's in there too. Sorry, girl. So anyway, very impressive. And you'll see Mia's video in there on her poster that she had done. So with that, one of the things I would like to do, and I am done, you're done listening to me, is I'd like Mia to talk a little bit about her project, if she could. And just introduce yourself, Mia, little bit about what you're doing and why you decided to get into this, the radon side of the house. So go ahead. I think you can hear her.
Can you guys hear me? Hi, my name is Mia. Thank you, Jackie, for the lovely introduction. I'm a recent graduate from Harrisburg University of Science and Technology with my bachelor's in biology. And I'm currently working as a pulmonary research specialist at Penn State College of Medicine. Well, I'm not going to say that I knew what radon was when I got an email about the CR3 program, because I did not know what it was. And it just showed up in my inbox one day while I was doing my work, and I was like, what's radon? And so I searched it, and then I found the statistics of that it causes lung cancer. It contributes to 21,000 deaths a year, and I was like, how do I not know this? And I'm a STEM major. Like, why didn't I learn about this? And I'm pretty sure if I don't know about it, there's probably a whole lot of other people that don't know about it. And so I was iffy about if I wanted to join because I didn't have the experience, but I just said, you know what, let's just try. And then that's when I met Jackie, and she basically told me it was perfectly fine to not know everything, and that she was here to help me guide me through the process of trying to learn what radon is and how can I help. So I'm more interested in the science of radon, more specifically health effects and also vulnerable populations. So currently in my office as a pulmonary research specialist, this was not a part of my job, but it has become my job because my boss, Dr. Rebecca Bascom, you can look her up, she had no idea what radon was until I came into the office, and I was like, perfect. So now I can, talk to you about it and then show that, wow, a lot of clinicians may not even know what radon is. And that's also a big problem since it is the second leading cause of lung cancer. So like that's a big issue. And she's a pulmonologist at that. So it's like how do you address this? And so currently, I'm working on different projects with the help of Dr. Khadija Mitchell, as well as Dr. Paul Locke, as well as Dr. Rebecca Bascom, trying to increase awareness within the space of medicine, especially amongst pulmonologists in different, and Penn State College of Medicine first, and then trying to expand awareness amongst clinicians in the state of Pennsylvania. That's the goal. And also trying to well, this is like years down the road because I plan for this to be like my life's work, my career work. Um, Currently, we're looking at environmental justice communities and the prevalence of radon testing in Pennsylvania, since Pennsylvania is in that high risk zone of radon, according to the EPA. So just trying to figure out how environmental justice communities, or if environmental justice communities are addressing the radon problem through testing and mitigation, and how can we help. So that's another project. And then another one that I plan to make my PhD project is to look at biomarkers for lung cancer, radon-induced lung cancer. Because another problem is that early lung cancer screenings are just only situated for people who have smoked. And as we all know, smoking is the number one leading cause of cancer, but radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. And it's important to address that through finding biomarkers that could, you know, be implemented in early lung cancer screenings, and not leaving out people who have never smoked and have been exposed to high radon levels. So that's also another idea. And also in the works, um, hopefully this happens, me and Brian Yang, who was talked about in his project, we're hoping to partner with EcoSense to test radon in schools based on past redlining policies to see if there's a difference in radon concentrations and things like that. So that's just a lot of ideas and projects that are just, you know, right here. So yeah, it was nice talking to you guys.
You see how exciting all of this is? I mean, these kids are amazing. I see that Josh is on here. Josh, can you speak a little bit if you're there? He may not be because he gets
I am on.
Oh, yay, he's here.
Sorry
Joshua
about that.
is all about the animals. So go ahead, Josh. Introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about what your project was, or is, I should say.
Hi, so I'm Joshua Keys, as she mentioned. So a little bit just about my project, as Jackie mentioned, it's in the field of animals, and basically what we do is create awareness in the field of animals and radon. A few years back, my aunt was diagnosed with lung cancer, and we found out that it was the cause of lung cancer was radon. And my aunt had never smoked a day in her life, and so we alluded that it had to be radon as was the cause of her getting lung cancer. And so through her walking through her journey, I found out about radon, and so I said, this might be a good field to get in. And then I was already in the field of animals through previous work experience, and just through hobby and my love for animals. I've always been in the animal field. So I end up coming across Alan Whitehead with the Bark Side of Radon and Radon Environmental, and they have the whole radon and awareness with dogs. And so end up hooking into that as well. And so been in it for about 2-3 years now, kind of thing. So just what we do is we create awareness in the animal field about radon for pet owners. We know many people love animals, and we know that they treat their animals like their own children. And so we kind of prioritize it through animal education and pairing radon education as well. And so I've been able to, I've been fortunate enough, and throughout my job, fields in the animal field. I've been able to speak to classrooms and things of that sort in the kids that I work with animals and pair the two. And so it's been really successful. So that's just a little bit about my project.
Very, very good. And we've got a cadre of the youth that are doing different things, but you will hear more. And I guess we are done with the presentation portion. So basically, do you have any questions for us? I mean, for me or Josh or Mia, but you have any questions whatsoever? Okay. Oh, I guess Lois has one. Are you there, Lois?
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you? This has been great. I really
you're freezing a
appreciate it. I'm
bit,
a
Lois.
retired respiratory therapist, and my I'm sorry. I'll just get to my question. That has to do with making pulmonologists aware of screenings, diagnostic things that talk about patients with radon-induced lung cancer. I never recall there being one, but I picked up on this from listening to Mia. So is there an identifiable test for this in the outpatient setting where these pulmonary doctors see patients trying to diagnose correctly?
From the research that I'm doing, there has been differences on like a molecular and genetic level, but the problem is that when trying to find biomarkers, they're using a lot of dated data, so like from the 90s. And so trying to build off of that is kind of difficult because there's so much new technology. It's kind of hard to figure out what to screen for, if that makes sense. So there's no real identifiable biomarker that says, oh, this is radon induced. And I personally feel that that is a problem, because if there is a way to find biomarkers for lung cancer that could possibly be induced or are induced from tobacco smoke, there should be a way, and there should be allocation of funds to find biomarkers that are radon induced, especially for those who are also exposed to tobacco smoke and also those who don't smoke at all. So yeah, there's maybe where I found maybe 5 articles on trying to find biomarkers for radon testing, which is kind of wild to me, but great for me, because then now I can build off of that. So yeah, and a lot of the research on biomarkers from radon-induced lung cancer is out of the country. So there's that. And they use minors as one paper used minors to find biomarkers within them, but I have yet to see an animal model be used to find biomarkers. So I'm thinking that's the route that we'll probably have to go. But yeah, no biomarker for radon yet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? What about the program? Any questions on the program, how it works, what you need to do?
Out of curiosity, is this like open constantly, the application process, or does it close? Like, I guess I'm just curious for people who are interested in applying for students. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, it is open all the time. Once you're a PYA, you are a PYA forever. So you sign up, and the reason we do that is because you might start out at 15, and then by the time you're 18, you go off to college, or you're working somewhere else, And you might be able to take all that you've learned into the next setting, and we don't want to lose you at that point, because that is a huge opportunity for the radon industry to continue that battle against radon gas and possibly come up with a good project out of a university, like Mia, for example, like Catherine Dixon, who's not on this call, but she's at Johns Hopkins. So yes, once you are in forever. If you need us to help you with anything, even at the college level, you can always come back to us, and we will hook you up with whomever you need, or whatever you think that we can help you with, we will do. So yes, thank you. Any other questions? Okay.
Hey, Jackie, can I expound upon what you said about the college end of things?
Sure.
I definitely want to say how flexible this has been, how flexible the PYA program is for people who are in college. When I was in college, I've been long since out now, but they weren't around when I was. But I can say with coming out of it and on the end of if you're coming out of college, or if you're a new graduate, it's definitely flexible with your job setting, with your workload, whatever it is. And I can say they have been very gracious in that period. So I would say it's flexible for any kid who's in school, and or if you, whether you're part-time, full-time, whatever it is, they're very flexible with that. So
Oh, one thing I did, thank you, Josh. One thing I failed to mention, and I want to make sure I do. We train you in the NRPP certified testing module, that the study. We literally will offer that to you, and you can take that course. If you pass the course, then you can take the exam, which is, I think it's like 3 hours, if you want to. Now, you could take the course and not take the exam, but you could take the exam. And then if you take the exam and get through that, you will become a certified tester or mitigator, whichever course you take, okay? What that means is that would also make you potentially job ready, right? Because you're certified and your name is listed with the state. And when people, they test their home and they say, "Oh, it's high. I need a tester or a mitigator." They go to the state website. They see, your name's listed. You're in that location or that locale. They can call you to come in and do that testing. So you could be job ready at that point. So we want to get you to that point where you definitely, depending on where you want to go, some people don't want to be the testers. They want to take it to the next level. But if that's what you want to do, you could possibly get a job, or you could possibly start your own business. So keep that in mind. Thank you. I think we're done.
Wait, I wanted to add one more thing before we
Okay.
end.
Okay.
Also the program, just to expand on what Joshua said, the program really does foster a really great sense of collaboration, and definitely amongst young people, because like when I was a child, I wish I had a program like this around, because as kids and as you grow up, you're taught to learn and be able to express yourself and be able to foster relationships amongst people with the same ideas. And so being exposed to radon as a college student allowed me to kind of foster these collaborations with people, with other youth ambassadors, as well as outside of the program. And I'm just, as a youth, it's really important to be able to have those, to foster those relationships, which this program really does a really great job of, and exposing you to different sides of the where you could go with radon, from policy to science to just testing or mitigation. There's just so many ways to collaborate in different branches. So like this program is really a great center and a great foundation to really get yourself out there and really spread awareness about radon. So like that's what I had to say.
Thank you, Mia. Oh, Denise has her hand up. Denise Blunt.
Yes, hi. Yeah, thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Mia and Josh, and for sharing your projects with us. And I do look forward to meeting you in person the end of September at the Hershey at the stakeholders meeting. And Mia, I think Bob said too, because you're right across the street from us, but although you graduated, so you're not there at the Harrisburg University anymore, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was supposed to go over there, but work has been hectic. So we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out a time to go. But yeah.
All right. Well, very good. It's good to hear you're working with Dr. Bascom. And like I said, thanks so much. I look forward to working with you in the future. And thanks, Jackie, for everything.
Welcome.
Great.
Thank you, Denise.
Mhm.
Any other last comments, questions? Okay. Thank you all.
Yeah, and thank you so much for speaking today, Jackie, Mia, Joshua. You guys are very impressed with the work you're doing. Is genuinely awesome. So thanks for everything.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll post this recording online for anyone who's interested. And we'll add a link and everything, and we'll send you all an email later with it. All right, everyone, have a great Thursday night.
All right.
All right. Bye. Thank you again.
Bye-bye.